If you die, here's what happens to your house. Most people assume that when they die, their home just automatically gets passed down to their family. But what actually happens? Can your spouse and kids just move in and keep the house? What if there's a mortgage? What if you have a will and not a trust? Or even worse, you don't have a will? If you don't have things structured right, your family could lose everything you worked for. So today I'm breaking down what really happens to your house when you die and how to make sure your property doesn't end up tied up in court or worse, taken by the bank. Hi, I'm Justin Brown, mortgage pro, real estate investor, and I've been doing this a long time. So here's what you need to know. So let's start simple. If you have a mortgage on your house and you pass away, the mortgage doesn't go away. It still needs to be paid and on time. Now, here's something most people don't know. The payments don't have to be made by you or someone legally tied to the loan. Anyone can keep making the payments. A family member, a tenant, a friend. If someone steps in and keeps it current, the bank won't say anything. But, and this is big, if nobody pays and there's no legal structure in place for someone to take over, the bank will move to foreclose. They won't wait long. So unless someone steps in and starts paying on that house, it's on the clock. Now let's talk about reverse mortgages, because this is one that surprises a lot of people. If you pass away and your property has a reverse mortgage on it, your family actually can't just start making the payments like a regular loan, because there's actually no payments due on these loans. With a reverse mortgage, the loan is due immediately upon death of the borrower or when they move out of the property. So what does that mean? It means the family has two choices at this point: to either pay off the loan in full, either with cash or by refinancing, or sell the property to satisfy the loan. And if they don't either, the lender could actually legally foreclose on that as well. And I think they give you 6 to 12 months to do either of those options, depending on which route you tell them you're going to go. I think it's 6 months to refinance and 12 months for the sale. I've seen families inherit a home, think that they were set, and then get hit with a payoff or demand letter that they couldn't afford. So this is definitely preventable, but only if you understand how it works. And now let's talk about why a will isn't enough and the probate trap. Here's a big one, because even if you do have a will, your property still goes through probate unless you've set up a living trust. A will just tells the court what you want to happen. It doesn't avoid the court process. Probate is expensive, it's public, and it can take months or years to resolve, depending on how many assets are involved, whether the will is contested, or how efficient the court system is in your county. And here's the part no one thinks about. While your property is stuck in probate, the mortgage still has to be paid. And if it has a reverse mortgage, it still needs to be paid off, refinanced, or sold. And unfortunately, while it's going through all this, no one has legal authority to sell or refinance the property until the court says so. So even if someone wants to help or you have the means to refinance it, pay it off, sell it, you can't. And during that time, interest is adding up. Payments hopefully are being made and not being missed. And the bank, they're just waiting for the timeline to run out so they can take the house. So if you want your property to actually go to your kids, your spouse, or whoever you name, you need a living trust. So now let's flip the perspective. Let's say someone in your family passes and you're the one inheriting the property. Here's what you need to do immediately. Step 1 is you need to contact the mortgage company. Step 2 is request to be added as a successor in interest so you have access to the loan and they can talk to you and give you all the information. This is a legal term that lets the lender know you're the one connected to the estate and want to take over management of the property. Now, you won't become responsible for the debt, but you'll be allowed to access the loan, payments, request a loan modification if needed. This could buy you time to refinance, time to sell, time to save the house. And it's an option almost no one talks about because banks don't go out of their way to make it easy. But it works. It could literally save the home. But at the end of the day, if you want to avoid all this drama, court process, stress, and risk, there's one move that handles it all. Set up the living trust. It's not that expensive, it's not that complicated, and it gives your family everything they need to take over immediately, with no court, no probate, and no surprises. It keeps your house protected, and it gives your heirs the power to act fast. And it also makes sure what you built stays in your family, that it's based on what you wanted to happen, not a judge. I know this isn't the most exciting part of real estate, but this is the part that protects everything you're working for. Because real estate isn't just about making money, it's about keeping it, passing it down, and doing it the right way. And if you're serious about building and protecting that generational wealth, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.